So I went onto Google and I found a tier list maker, and I'm going to rank the next 40 microgames and WarioWare smooth moves. Let's get right into it. Alright, let's do this thing. Okay, so template name. 41, 80, because those are the next 40. WarioWare. Okay, I think that's how it works. Video games. Oh yeah. Sponsored by Rick Miller Co. and Dole Bananas. Alright, so our labels, we have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and we'll add an F tier. Oh, so yeah, F is like, so yeah, hopefully this works. And now it's processing. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna have to improvise. Okay, so whatever, we don't need a visual. We'll just say it on screen. Okay, first up, we got Clue Land. So overall, the controls are pretty smooth, and I like the 3D representation of this old classic. I feel like at faster speeds, it's a bit harder to navigate, but it's pretty solid. I'd give it a B ranking. Next up on the list, we have Code Dependency. The visuals, I can get why people may not like them, but it's pretty charming. And it's a pretty original idea of scanning an item at a grocery store. I like it. Another B ranking. Cold Call. It's pretty easy, but the execution of the game is what makes it stand out. I really like the different voices you can hear once you pick up the phone. I'm gonna give it an A ranking. Next is Come to Papa. It's a very fun game. It makes you act quick on your feet, and yeah, it's very exciting. I'm gonna give it an S ranking because it's very memorable and definitely one of my favorites. Coming Unhinged. I like the ideas of this Mac game. The visual styles are pretty unique. Pretty easy. I'm gonna give it another B ranking. Community Service. Simple yet good micro game. Not much to say about it. I'm gonna give it B. Cookie Rookie. I'm gonna give it a C ranking because like sometimes just the slightest push just might like push the cookie cutter, but it's a fascinating game. I like it. Cranky Robot. The hand looks kind of weird, but the robots kind of vibe in there. I like the different sceneries within each level. I'm gonna give it a B ranking. Crowd Control. I've seen this smart game a lot of other times. I think it was in the original WarioWare. It's pretty easy, but it's fine. I'm gonna give it a C. Next up, we got Cupsy Daisy. I don't get this micro game, honestly. I just swing the Wii remote up for every level, and I just win. I'm gonna give it a D. Cut to the Chase. It's another simple game. I like the different things that pop up when you win, but it doesn't really stand out too much. I'm gonna give it like a C, I guess. Cutting Edge. You just have to be quick with the game, since it doesn't calculate your movement, the exact move that you swing it. It uses the samurai stance very well though, so I'll give it a B. Dead Ringer. I like the idea of it, but it can be way too difficult at times. Definitely not my favorite. I'm gonna give it a D. Diddly Squat. Doing squats in this micro game does not really help. Just what I do is I have the mohawk stance, and then I just slightly raise it up and down until I win it. It's definitely not the easiest one. That's why I get the C ranking. Next up, we have Doughboy. I'm not that good at this one, but I won't really blame it. But at the same time, I will. It takes most of the 4 seconds for it to like start swinging, and I usually have trouble with it whenever I'm like replaying Mona stage. So I'll give it a D. Next, we have Driver's Ed. This one, let me explain. This one is a pain in the ass. Micro game itself is easy and it's fun to play, but it's definitely one of the hardest micro games whenever I'm replaying Jimmy T or Katana stages. Like when it begins to go faster, because most of the turns are really tight, and you just have to be really precise to make sure you don't get totaled. So I'm gonna give it a C. Next up, we have Eating for Two. I feel like I've seen this micro game before, but it's still pretty clumsy and fun. So I'll give it a C ranking. Escape Artist. In this game, you have to guide a helicopter to save the one and only Franck. I don't have trouble with it since you have around 8 seconds to it. It's generally pretty easy to win. Solid microgame. Extreme Patty Cake. This is by far one of the funniest microgames in all of WarioWare. You freaking just push someone and that's it. The art style is very contrasting and it's just a lot of fun to play. Personally, one of my favorites. I'm going to give it an S ranking. Right after that, we have Fanboy. So, I like what they're trying to do with this microgame, although it's pretty simple and it's not too memorable. All you do is just fan some butterflies. I don't know. Next up, I'm not even going to pronounce that name. But, yeah, this one, you have to just shade this girl at the beach. I don't even know why she's moving so much, but it's pretty good. Just make sure she doesn't get burned. And just make sure she doesn't shoot right into the sky. It's pretty funny. I like it. Next, we have another nunchuck game. It's called Finishing Move. You just have to like hold a pose. I like the different poses, except every round it's basically the same thing, so it's pretty easy to win. I'll give it a B ranking. Next, we have Fired Up. Sometimes this game is easy, and sometimes this game can be hard. They like tricking you on this one, because sometimes whenever you're pushing the platform it seems obvious, but sometimes it doesn't. You just have to see what happens. Next we have Fitting In. We've all seen this like fitting in type of microgame before, but I like this one since it's just a Moai statue with a bunch of stick figures. The music's pretty catchy, so I'll give it a B ranking. We have 5 more minutes. Pretty memorable, and it's easy, and it has an understandable gimmick. I can relate to this game as I always need 5 more minutes whenever I wake up. So I'll give it a C ranking because I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with it. Next we have Flask Me Later. There's nothing to go on about with this smart game, but the concept and visuals are fine. I'll give that a C ranking. Frequent and Flyer. I enjoyed the fact that you're the person handing out flyers to random people, and as long as you're precise, this shouldn't be too annoying. It's pretty memorable and the art style is pretty neat. Between B and A ranking, I'll give it an A ranking. Why not? Next, we have Fresh Off the Grill, Ashley's boss stage. This is definitely one of my favorite boss stages in the game. It idolizes the discard form, and it really makes you pay attention, and I just like it. Next, we have Game & Watch Octopus. This is definitely one of the easiest micro games. As soon as the guy hits the chest, you just pick up the Wii remote. I get they're trying to do with this though. I'll give it a C ranking. Geared for Landing. I hate this damn micro game. I keep getting the controls of the lever mixed up, whether rotating left makes the wall go down or up. And it's completely random with no warning of where the plane's gonna head. Obviously, I don't want like all easy micro games. I want some challenge, but I don't want hard ones like this that are very hard to complete. So I'm just gonna give it an F ranking. Next up, we have Get to the Point. That's a cool visual style. I like how each level shows a different way of sharpening a pencil. This micro game definitely gets to the point. I'll give it an A ranking. Hand Me Down, another unnecessarily hard micro game. I like how you're passing an item to someone, but the third level, the movement of the hand is so unpredictable. I usually get it once out of every 5 attempts. I do kind of like that monkey ball reference though. I'll give it a D ranking. Hair Raising. Sometimes it doesn't calculate the white flag, so you have to raise it pretty high, but the game itself still works as long as you make sure it calculates the movement. He Who Smelt It. I like the random humor here, even if it's kind of juvenile. Although my problem here is that it just does not contrast in difficulty, so I'm just going to give it a C ranking. Helping Hand. I like the randomness in this game. You don't know what to expect. I'm going to give that a B ranking. Hit Parade. Another easy one, but the art style is different, and I like how the moles just say hi at the end. I'm going to give it a C ranking. Honeymoon Fallout. This girl sure does fall a lot. You just have to basically save her every time in a different setting, but I like the visuals, and it feels good to win. I'll give it a B ranking. How the West Was Really Won. You can basically just cheat the game by raising your Wii remote and clicking BS when he says draw, but it's a very good game nonetheless. I'm going to give it an A ranking. In the Cards. This is another great way of using the discard. It's pretty easy, and it's fun, so I'll give that an A ranking. And finally, It's a Wrap. I like all the things that appear once you're done with the game, and the music here is pretty catchy. Definitely stands out. I'm going to give that an A ranking.